All right, weekend sports betting tips. Barroom Network, it's Tooch, Mr. Sean Higgs. All right, Sean, you and I have been talking backstage. We're going to talk some college basketball tonight, of course, and want to talk a little baseball futures, man. I've been dying to talk baseball, so it's just little baseball futures going on here. First of all, I was talking with one of my coworkers at work, and I had asked him, I was like, man, that Dodgers lineup, huh? Like the first three, and I was like, the first three is Mookie, Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman, and then Will Smith, like the top four. That's a little a nice little top four there, Sean. We're betting your fee, or is that going to be out of our? Is that going to be at minus 150 every day for your fee?
See, I'm not that high on the Dodgers, believe it or not. Like it's a good team. You got Betts, Freeman, Ohtani leading off.
Yeah.
But then the guys after that, let's remember that team was a bunch of guys hitting like 217. I mean, okay, and you beat up on bad pitching like teams do, right? Everybody kind of clubs during the regular season, and it's playoff time, and you guys can't beat a team and get to the World Series because here comes a good pitcher, and Freddie Freeman and Betts could hit the ball and hit home runs, but then when you got guys, you're better than the Yankees because you get to the playoffs. But when you have guys who don't get on base, Max Muncy, that's great. 36 homers. He hit 211. I don't. I need guys. I want some averages. Like
Gavin Lux and Max Muncy.
How about you get on base? If you get on base, I don't need a home run because a couple guys hit some line drives. The old loop in a blast, something to the hole, advance a runner. Can you get on base?
Yep.
I like Will Smith. I do like the Margot signing because he was a pretty good backup guy with Tampa. It looks good, but it's also a top heavy in the rotation. I have Kershaw, who's as great as he is a Hall of Famer. You're going to get 25 starts from him?
Yep.
You have Glass now, what are you going to add? Now he's healthy. Now he's going to pitch 30. He's going to get 34 starts full season. Excellent this year. All right, good luck with that. Ohtani's not pitching. I got Buehler coming back later in the season. And then I have all the young guys. Edward Sheehan, the singer / pitcher, right? Sheehan, the young guy. Grove, Stone. I mean, it's Gosselin's still there. You have a bunch of guys who throw 5 innings. How is Urias not signed? That guy goes 17-5 every year for the Dodgers. He's not even signed on a contract. How bad is his arm shot? He's been pitching for 10 years. He's 25 years old. He's been pitching since he's 17 for the Dodgers.
They got that little Japanese phenom Yamamoto going to be added to the rotation.
Exactly. How is he going to be? I don't know how he's going to be. Is he, is he Dice K? Is he Hideki Arabu? Who is he?
Right.
Is he Kiyagawa? I don't know. Like, you bring guys over. Yeah, you could have Ichiro. Maybe you got Matsui again. Although, maybe you got some, who's the guy, Kim on the Padres, who does nothing. I don't know how they're going to translate to over here. I'm not high in the Dodgers. They're a good team. I'm not laying a 6-1 to win a division, right? They are 6-1 to win the division. I'm not doing that. No way. And I'd be throwing away money at 10-1 on the Diamondbacks because as much as they were good last year, you got Eduardo Rodriguez. Is that your 3 guy we're going to battle with? Him, Merrill Kelly. I mean, You need a little more
Yep.
for me to battle the Dodgers. So out there, it's the Dodgers. They are what they are, and then we'll flip into a who's giving them a challenge. I guess the Braves, right? I mean,
Yep.
but even that team, Tooch, you bring in Chris Sale. When's the last time that guy been healthy? When? I like Max Fried. The guy's got injury problems. As awesome as he is, that's great. You go 13-2 every year. You only pitch in 20 games.
What about Spencer Strider for Cy Young? He's the odds-on favorite,
Yes,
I think.
I would grab a Strider. He's really. I
Yep,
mean,
I would too.
they let him pitch. Okay, I'm going to give up 4 runs. I don't care. He's going to go 7, 8 innings. He's going to strike out 9, 10 guys. He's going to win 17 to 20 something games. He's their workhorse. They let him go. Good for them for letting a guy actually go out there and pitch and take some lumps and continue. But after that, what do you got? You got the young guys like AJ. I can't pronounce it, like Shaver. They got some young guys. Charlie Morton's an old guy. I don't know. How aren't you signing some of these pitchers? Like who? Montgomery. I would grab him in a second for his going rate. Snell's not going to get 9 years. He wants what, 300 million? That's not happening, Blake. Sorry. Take a 3-year, $35 million deal from somebody.
What about my Cubbies to win the Central?
No. I rode that horse last year and it turned into a donkey. I thought they'd make a deal. They fell apart. And now, I mean, you lose a pitcher in Stroman. You haven't brought back Belly. I mean, what?
Yep.
What are you doing? That division is wide open. I'm all in. If I'm over there, I'm like, hey, let's sign Monty. Let's bring Bellinger back here. Hey, Snell, do you want to take a 1 year, $40 million? Like, give him something ridiculous for 2 years. Come on in. Worst case, you trade him if you guys collapse. You have St. Louis, who somehow is the favorite to win that division. I don't understand how.
Kind of like Cincinnati. They've got some young players in there. Maybe they just, I don't know what they did with the pitching staff. Hasn't been great.
Cincinnati brought in
bullpen.
A bunch of guys. We'll see how that transpires.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt's a young team. Maybe they're an upstart. Why wouldn't you go for it in there? Milwaukee traded their Cy Young.
Corbin Burns, right? He's gone.
All right. You got Woodruff there. I get it. He's pretty good. Peralta's okay, but again, that team always had good pitching, but no hitting. Why wouldn't you go all in? Are you thinking let's not go all in because we're going to lose to the Braves or Dodgers this year anyway? I don't understand the thinking. You could win that division. It's a bad division.
Yeah. Yep. Win totals.
I got 2 I love. I'm probably going to go play them tomorrow over in FanDuel in Louisiana. Royals over and the Tigers over. They're my 2 favorite. Royals were a 72.5. It went to 73.5. Detroit was 79.5. Now it's an 81.5. I like them both overs. Detroit, it just seems like they're always snake bit with like pitching injuries. Like, all their young guys, every year, 3 of them are out for the year with some, like, what that kind of medical staff they over there just ruining guys.
They got some nice young pitching on Detroit.
Yes.
Derek
Skubal, Manning, Reese Olson. They do have young, I mean, you got a bunch of guys that they haven't pitched in a while. So it's another division like the Central of the National League. Is like, why wouldn't you take a shot on a team to be an upstart kind of team? All right, you want to grab the Reds? The Reds are plus 400 to win. Sure. Yeah. Why not take the Detroit's plus 350? I'll take a shot on them. Who do you have there? You got the White Sox. Yeah, they got the white flag up already. They've given up.
Yeah, the season's over before it started.
Cleveland, they got some pitching, 0 bats, and last year they didn't make any trades to bring anybody in. So I don't think they're going to do it again this year.
Twinkies.
And Minnesota.
The Twinkies. Yeah, Minnesota.
And that's a weird team. I like, Joe Ryan. They got some young guys.
Yeah.
That they're obviously the favorite to win there, but me, I'm going to look. I'm not going to.
I like what you're selling with the Royals and Tigers, though. They were pesky at the end of the year.
The Tigers, I think, could make the jump because they have Torkelson and Riley Green are 2 kind of stud hitters. I mean, I know Bobby Witt Jr. is supposed to be awesome, and the Royals do have some hitters themselves. They're not that bad, but
one of the best players in the majors. I have Bobby Witt, man.
Oh, he's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yep.
Again, Twins are. I can't lay 140. I'm not going to do that. I'll do a preview show. I'm not going to take any of the team that's minus money to win. That's no. Who wants to? You want to tune into that and be like, hey, who do you like today? Oh, we're taking Alabama minus 38. Oh, really? Thanks for that. That's a thanks for the update. Like, oh, let's take the Dodgers. I can't tell you to take the Dodgers. It's like I get to. We're not taking a team that's destined to win. We're going to look at a little wild card, a little dark horse here to come in and steal the thunder here from a team.
Yep. All right. I know we talked a little bit about last week, and the odds have changed with Justin Fields unfollowing the Bears on Instagram, and then go on. So Bears starting quarterback prop. We'll revisit it. Caleb Williams at minus 900 now. Sean, the Bears to draft Caleb Williams. I don't know, man.
That's fine. Listen, the Bears want to draft him. That's great. Just know next year you have a new head coach, and you're in another 3-year build with a new head coach.
Exactly. Yes, that's
so.
The fear.
There you go, Bears fans. You want this guy so bad. That's fine. Eberflus gets fired. Some new guy comes in, and then it's another rebuild. Then Caleb. I mean, he's as good as Aaron. Who they compare him to? Who's he? He's Pat Mahomes. Who do they think this kid is?
Yeah, I saw a comparison to Drew Brees at Purdue.
You know what? That
was a nice little comparison.
That's great.
You're probably too young, but I don't know if you remember Fran Tarkenton. He was my favorite player when I was a little kid.
Fran, how old are you, Tooch? I thought you were a couple of years older than you, like
55. I'll be 56 this year.
Oh my goodness, you are old.
I know. But Fran Tarkenton was my favorite player. Walter Payton, those two guys. I just loved them. I just
don't understand. Okay, it's not like I'm a Bears. I killed the Bears in here, and I said it's time to bet them. It was time to bet them. If you really think he's the answer, you should be outside the stadium trying to get the coach fired because. And here's the problem: the new coach coming in. Well, I don't want this guy as my quarterback. So when he has a bad year, he's like, "Well, he's not my guy. He's not my guy."
Right
there, you go. So let's start looking at seniors in high school now or juniors in high school because that's who your new coach is going to be looking at.
Jay Grizz says Caleb's little Johnny Manziel with less character issues.
I don't know about that. I mean, this guy. Manziel was a personality. This guy says he wants ownership of a team. I don't know what's worse. The guy whose dad's a billionaire and he could buy the team, or the guy who wants to be a billionaire.
Yeah. Let's see. Fields, you're not interested. Fields to be the starting quarterback of the Bears at plus 350.
I think he should be. I don't know why. Why are you trading him?
I know. Why wouldn't you keep him? I don't get it, but yeah.
I'm looking at.
Couldn't you draft both?
The team is bad. Trade the pick and get some more picks. Bring in an offensive lineman. Get a wide receiver. Trade down the next pick and bring in Marvin Harrison. And I was listening to somebody, and they're talking about Harrison's going to come in here, and they're talking about wide receivers going in the first round. We talk about quarterbacks going and how they go to crap teams and look terrible. How about wide receivers coming in? Like, with the exception of Jamar Chase, who's come in recently, and he had Joe Burrow there. And Burrow is as good as he's been. He's got injury problems. That team, when he's healthy, super. But let's think about all these other wide receivers taking the first round. How great are they with bad quarterbacks?
It hasn't been good. Justin Jefferson, I think back he was like 18th overall to Minnesota. Pretty damn good pick. First round.
You're an old guy. Let's go back to remember Mike Williams just picked him on for
Mike Williams
for the Lions. Yeah. It's no guarantee.
Roy Williams too.
But if I'm the Bears, I have a quarterback. I kept the coach. I kept the quarterback. Why am I not going to trade down and get the wide receiver?
And they could keep Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams. Let him fight it out.
Oh, I think that'd be a bad move.
Yeah. Okay.
Why would you do that?
Because you miss out on the draft haul if you do that.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you do that? You don't draft Caleb Williams and say, he's going to sit behind Justin Fields and learn. Learn what? Justin Fields can't do. He's out. Justin Fields, what's he going to learn? To run for his life behind a bad team?
Just competition. Make him fight it out.
Who's this? Is this like Steve Walsh and
Fields is
Troy Aikman
every year too?
This is not Young in Montana. We're talking about.
Yeah, Young in Montana.
That's who this is. Come on.
No. You could also trade down and pick up another quarterback like J.J. McCarthy, pretty good player.
I don't need another quarterback. I need to get this guy on track. You drafted him. You
want to build around Fields.
Why did you draft? So, okay. let's build around Caleb Williams now. That's wonderful. So
Yep.
we're taking Williams 1.
Doesn't know the locker room.
Nobody at this point, they know you want to dump Fields. Somebody's really going to give you something you want for Fields? Nobody's going to give you anything. I'll give you a third rounder.
Right. If you draft it,
I'll give you a fourth round pick.
You have to trade Fields before the draft.
What was it? What did Trey Lance get traded for the Cowboys? A 6th rounder?
I think it was a 3rd rounder or 4th rounder.
3rd or 4th rounder?
Like that,
Third pick in the draft for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think you're going to get after you draft the number 1 guy? What do you think you're getting?
The Commanders are going to come after Williams.
You're not getting better than a third. If Lance is getting a 4th rounder, you're not getting better when everybody knows you got to get rid of him because if this guy's sensitive enough to just take you off social media, he's not coming to camp anyway.
Yeah.
So again, I don't follow the Bears. I'm sure Bears people be like, typical Bears. Well, that's a good move for us, and then get nothing, and you'll be complaining about that. Like, I can't believe we did this. You have a quarterback. Trade the number 1 pick. Get more draft. When you're a 6-win team, that's terrible, and your quarterback's run for his life. Get an offensive lineman. Get a wide receiver. Get an edge rush. I mean, I don't know. I'd go offense. Defense, whatever. Defense to me is a hit or miss prospect. One year, some teams has a good defense. It's not good. Some years, it's hit or miss. You got a throw down the field turns into a pass interference. It's 70 yards the first. So I don't care about that. I want my offense. If I know my offense is going to put up 30-some a game, I'll take a shot with a defense. I got a good offense. We'll improve the defense down the road.
Yep.
Make your quarter. It's all about the quarter. It's a quarterback league, right?
Yes, sir.
Why on God's green earth wouldn't you get the guy, someone to throw the ball to, and guys in front of him to keep him upright so he doesn't have to run for his life?
Yep.
I don't know. Team's simple enough to me. I don't know. It's easy enough when you build it on Madden. I build a team. I got like offensive linemen, a good wide receiver, and then my team kind of grows from there. So my quarterback could develop.
Get him a left tackle.
Offensive line to develop.
Guard. I draft 3 offensive linemen and 3 wide receivers in this one. Trade back. Get a breakaway running back.
Get some picks. You're a bad team. You need all the help you can get.
Yeah, that's how the Eagles did it, huh? The offensive line behind Jalen Hurts, behind a good offensive line, made it all the way Super Bowl.
You need the team has holes. Fill them.
Oh, a lot of holes. So plus 350 on Fields.
I don't.
Thinking?
I mean,
Fields are the Bears keeping the Bears keeping Fields at plus.
I think they should keep him. I mean, because you know what? If you're Washington picking second, okay, no problem. We're not going to trade up. We're not. You guys want some kind of ridiculous haul? We'll take a wide receiver number 2, and we'll stick with our quarterback, or draft somebody later in the second round. We could take McCarthy in the second round. Who knows? Maybe Penix will be there. I mean, again, who knows how these guys are going to be in the league? I mean, everybody's like, oh, they think these quarterbacks come out and everybody turned into superstars. I mean, Stroud had a great year. Bryce Young looked like crap. So you don't know what you're going to get. I mean,
you'd have to franchise Justin Fields after this season. You have to come up with the decisions coming up.
Why can't you? I mean, here's the thing, though, Dave. If these guys can't, I know it's the quarterback gets like these ridiculous $40 million contracts. I understand. I know you don't want to pay. I don't want to pay Dak Wilson. I don't want to pay Dak Prescott $45 million. So I understand. I want to play Justin Fields that money either. But who are you going at now? If you want to do a rebuild, that's fine. But that's what you're going to here. So if that's the case, like, hey, we're going to rebuild, you should have fired the coach and say we'll bring somebody else in and see who he wants a quarterback.
Yep.
I'll take. I mean, please. I don't want to pay Dak $45 million. Give me. Let Lance throw the ball for $7 million. I mean, you have an offensive lineman and some pretty good skill players around him. Ferguson's a good tight end. CeeDee Lamb's a good receiver. Let's go. Give me Jameis Winston.
CeeDee Lamb might be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I'll take Fields for what's he got paid? $10 million? He could be a backup, sure.
Pookie says looks like Fields going to be traded. I don't know.
Pookie, if they're going to trade him, that's fine. My point is this. You're bringing in a new quarterback, and every team that does this,
yeah,
it's
then
a
the
rebuild.
coach is gone. Yeah,
The coach, you know what I'm saying? So if they win
Yeah.
2 games this year, like, oh, you know what, we gotta get rid of Eberflus. He's terrible. Caleb Williams looks like crap.
Mhm.
You think the new coaches will come in here and be like, well, I'm drafting the quarterback I want because whoever has a great year in college this year is the guy he wants a quarterback.
The Commanders signed Cliff Kingsbury to be the offensive coordinator. He's got a history with Caleb Williams. So, I mean, you should be able to fleece the Commanders for that number 2 pick. Just get on there. Well, the Patriots are offering me such and such.
They know you want to deal it because you're not getting rid of the field. So what?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You're going to take Caleb Williams? Take him.
We'll take Drake May.
You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If I'm Washington, I'm sitting there. I'm not trading for the number 1 pick. All right, you want him? Yeah. I'm not giving him. Oh, let's give up 5 draft picks for this guy.
Would New England trade up for him?
Why?
Where's that they got a lot of picks.
Yeah, but their picks are all middle round. I mean, the Bears. You're a Bear fan. You're happy with a bunch of 3rd and 4th round picks for the next 3 years?
I might get a 2nd rounder or something.
No,
to move up 2 spots.
I mean, I'd be shocked. Listen, Belichick's gone. Who knows? Maybe they get aggressive and go for offensive players.
There's a woman's coach on some team. A woman coach on one of the NFL teams.
I don't
know. Let us know more on that, Pookie. All right. Arizona got whacked at home last night by Washington State. Any Final Four thoughts after 1 week?
I still think UConn's awesome. I think North Carolina is really good.
Yeah.
Although I like Virginia tomorrow. It's a 2-point underdog there, but
yep.
I think UConn, North Carolina, and then listen. Purdue has shown trouble on the road. Teams lose on the road. We just saw UConn lose on the road. If you go through, did we do the show last week? I went through every team that was in first place in their conferences and their road records.
Yep.
Everybody loses on the road. So let's not get too carried away of teams losing.
Yeah.
I think it's UConn and North Carolina. I think's a pretty experienced group to get the job done.
Purdue's Houston, a Final Four team.
Houston. Houston's really good. And then you have like your Kansas Baylor combo, like someone else in the Big 12 is going to make a run.
Yep.
Kentucky, Alabama. I don't know about Auburn,
Alabama's
Tennessee.
Pretty dangerous. Yeah.
So again, one of those teams could easily get to the Final Four. I don't think there's going to be some crazy dark horse getting there. I'm like, St. Mary's. I don't know if St. Mary's has enough offense.
Defense is. I'm talking St. Mary's, maybe like Sweet 16, like St. Peter's.
They'll probably get Sweet 16 and run somebody. I mean, who knows? They might do a Final 8. They run into a team like Houston, and that game's 50-32 final. I mean, that could just be some ridiculous, right? Yeah. I mean, they can have 28 points in a game.
49-40. Something like that.
And Houston, as much as they could score, they could not score too. So,
all right.
She's a Bears coach. Pookie says.
Oh, Bears coach, huh? All right. Let me see. She came from Washington, huh? Jennifer King, new assistant running back coach for the Bears. Wow, nice.
What?
Jennifer King. Yeah, she came from Washington. All right.
Yeah, they had a great offense over there.
Good job. Not heard
good hire, Bears. And this is not to be like anti-women, but I don't understand. You take when you hire like coordinators off of teams that aren't even good. Like, what is that?
Diversity hire already for the Bears.
Let's bring a woman in here.
Our splash.
Yeah. I know all guys can't be like coaches. Like, you figure.
Jay Grizz's comment.
We got
some jokers in the chat room, Sean.
You have, and again, just because you're a good player doesn't mean you could coach.
Yeah,
it's funny you have a guy like it's Torey Lovello is like the hitting coach. You guy hit like 215 in majors. How's this guy the hitting coach? Where's Tony going? You know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't Wade Boggs teaching people to hit? The guy like 330.
Yeah.
It's funny, but like that's like, hey, let's take a women's running back coach from the Redskins because they were so good moving the ball last year.
They're trying to say, Antonio Gibson, come on over the Bears. We got your assistant running back coach here now.
I don't get that. I mean, whether it's her or anybody, like it's a move. I get taken defensive coordinator. You're taking the Cowboys defense coordinator. All right, the defense looked pretty good last couple years. I understand that.
Purdue's at home
Washington
tomorrow,
offense?
I think, right? Purdue at home tomorrow.
It's a Sunday game. That's Sunday versus Michigan.
Sunday,
I
right?
believe
Versus
it's. I
Michigan.
believe
Okay.
it's on the road. I believe they're on the road, but they should still probably win by double digits.
Purdue not, and even my Iowa Hawkeyes, not the luckiest team in the tournament. Purdue got knocked out round 1 by the number 16 seed. Was it Fairleigh Dickinson?
Yep.
Right.
Well, St. Peter's got them too, didn't it? Or no, who's St. Peter's?
So,
no, St. Peter's knocked off who? Arizona last year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, knocked off Arizona 2 years ago. Yeah. Let's see. Barroom Network be live on draft day. Almost certainly. Someone will be there. Aldo and Danny Shimon. A few other people.
Boy, you guys are gonna be losing your minds.
Yeah, break the internet on that one. All right.
I mean, just one last thing. I just don't understand how you keep Eberflus and then bring in a new quarterback. It makes zero sense to me. And again, I'm not some GM or smart guy. No one's ever said, "Oh man, you're really smart, Sean." I never got that. It just that doesn't in today's NFL. It doesn't work that way.
They hired Shane Waldron, who is the Seahawks or was the Seahawks offensive coordinator. Maybe if they brought in Caleb Williams to get rid of Eberflus, Waldron steps into that head coach.
Again, maybe that's the game plan.
Could be
keep a little like continuity. But how about if he's the coordinator and this kid's turned into Bryce Young next year? He's terrible. That's the guy you want running the team.
Yeah. Yep.
He couldn't do it as an OC. Just how's he going to be a head coach? He couldn't control just the offense. How's he going to do offense and defense?
The Bears we're great at putting the cart before the horse, Sean. That's what we do.
most fans of teams are.
All right. What do you think? Houston at Baylor, right in your backyard. You got the Houston Cougars, man, playing some tough defense. Their first year in the Big 12. Baylor also good, man. Houston got that tough defense. Sometimes, man, with Houston, for me, sometimes that offense sputters, but they've been looking pretty good lately. Baylor's a home dog. I know you love your home dogs.
I've already bet Baylor. I've already bet them.
Baylor plus 2.5.
Houston, what's their record? I know you got it right in front of you. What are they?
23-3.
Lost at TCU, lost at Iowa State, lost at Kansas. Favored in all 3 games. 3, 1.5, 1.5, whatever it was. Lost them all.
Yeah, 4-3 on the road.
Lost them all. So you know what? I'll take a little home dog.
Yeah.
Baylor's
going to be 13-1 at home.
Yeah.
15-8 against the spread at home.
And listen, teams at home, they win. Creighton took care of business.
Yep.
Teams take care of business. Purdue lost their games, all on the road in Big Ten play. I mean, do we have to bring up teams? Virginia, a ranked Virginia team, just scored 40 points on the road and got smashed by an unranked Virginia Tech team.
Yep.
All right. We got a lot of games like this tomorrow. Teams lose. It happens. Take them all. A lot of spots like this in the long run, you will win doing this. It's also that's all people talk about on Twitter. I mean, like you just found the fire for the first time, like they're cavemen. Like this is betting. This is stuff that I did like 1993 was easy enough to spot. Like I'd open up the New York Daily News. Oh, look at this. These guys are ranked. They have a little 17 next to them and they're an underdog. Oh, this is easy. I'm going the other way. I'm taking a home favorite. Like it was a no-brainer.
Let's break this down a little bit. There, people, amateurs are sitting there and they're going to say, "I'm getting Houston at only minus 2.5."
Yeah,
and sharps and pros like yourself are saying, "I'm taking the home."
It's
dog.
an auto play. Here's the thing people don't get though.
Yep.
All right. Oh, how easy was that? It lost. Well, that's okay. It's just one game because
it's going to win
from November to April in spots like this, and these spots transpire from the AP polls or whatever to in 10 days when the ASUN tournament starts. It's going to be your 1 seed is they're an underdog to a 4 seed. That's an easy winner for the 1 seed. No. The same kind of stuff in the tournaments, whether it be NIT or CBI, CIT, whatever alphabet tournament you're watching. You're going to have lower seeds favored, and those are just straight up auto plays. Okay, it'll lose, but you can't look at it as one game. This is a giant timeline of sports betting here. So
how far is Waco from Houston?
That's about 2.5 hours for me.
2.5 hours. Okay, so not too big of a travel for the Cougars. Cougars in your backyard there, Sean. You're in Houston. How's the buzz around there for the Cougars?
They listen, the Houston down here, whether it's the Texans, Houston football, any college, your high school team,
Mhm.
the support for any squad in your neighborhood here is just ridiculous. I don't know if that's a Texas thing because that wasn't like that in Jersey. Nobody really gave a crap. You know, it was like you just had your high school team. All right, whatever. Nothing like down here. It is absolutely nothing.
Crazy. Yeah.
You're a support team. Like you go out here on a Saturday night, everybody's representing their colleges. A lot of A&M
Yep.
people behind me here. You know,
Yep.
I'm a little West Houston, so it's um, not that I'm in like farmland, but a lot of A&M people. But everyone's on a Sunday, like church. Everybody's got Texan stuff on at church. It's crazy. They You can't
Yeah.
walk in there with your Dallas Cowboy hat on or something. Like, hey, I'm a Cowboy fan. No, 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 no.
No. Take that off.
Yeah, it's definitely different than up north where people are like, all right, like the Giants, like the Jets, there's 49ers fans. It's not like that. They are diehard for their squads here, no matter what team it is.
Yeah, it's the same here in Iowa. You go to church, people got Cyclones and Hawkeyes gear on. Same thing. So we're looking at Baylor. Any thoughts on the total? I think it's a little low.
You know what? Shockingly, I think I had like 26 and like 15 in totals. I wrote it down somewhere because I didn't think I even had that many. But I really don't look at totals all that much.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Sometimes
I've been pretty good on my totals though this year.
I'm a side guy.
Yep.
And I don't know. Total wise, I would probably look to the under just based on it's a road game. Houston has lost on the road, so obviously they're not shooting well. They're not getting to, Kentucky type 96-91 track meets like Alabama games, So I would lean under, but for me, it's a straight up Baylor money line here. Let's go.
As far as total for me, I 20 of the last 35 Houston games have gone over. That's no surprise. They're all defense. It's gone under.
Yep.
Baylor game total over 17 of their last 31 games. So yeah, that number is probably really sharp. All right, let's move on. We got a little ACC action here with Duke and Wake Forest. Duke red hot, Sean, all the way up to number 8 now.
Duke is the favorite now. This was earlier. Wake Forest, when I did the lines a couple hours ago when they first came out, I was starting writing them down. Duke was an underdog, a 2.5 underdog. So they're favored now? No, this is wrong. Wake is a 2.5 point fave.
Is it? All right, hold on.
Yeah, as I say, Duke is 2.5. Excuse me, Wake Forest is 2.5.
Wake Forest minus 2.5 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to take Wake, but I'm like, I thought it'd be the other way around. I'm thinking we'll get Duke as a little fave, like a 1 point fave or something. Especially like I'll look at these games like on a Wednesday or Thursday ahead of time on a like KenPom or Bartovic or something. Look at their kind of numbers, which a lot of these books use as like an opener. Some of these amateur places will just copy and be like, just take that number.
Yep, I might.
So I see Duke at like a 1. I'm like, all right, I'm looking to take Wake 2.5 Wake. Like, are they moving to over adjust now because of the unranked for the ranked teams going on the road and been losing? Instead of this game being a pick'em or a Duke -1, now it's Wake. And see, I'm torn here because this one I want to take Wake, but 2.5 as an open, I don't know. I don't want to do that here. I lean a little Duke, but it's again Duke getting number 8 Duke, a top 10 team getting points. It looks a little too good to be true. And if you think like a bookmaker, and I got guys who live in the desert and are on islands in the Caribbean who get food airdropped to them and water sent in because they don't have any. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're not going to give away something for free. They're living like kings for a reason.
Duke 21-13 their last 34 games against the spread.
Not too bad.
Game total under 10 of their last 14 away games. Wake Forest hit the team total over 13 of their 19 games at home. Look, Wake Forest plays fast. Duke not as fast. Duke plays good defense, so I'm not sure. Does Wake Forest have an answer for Filipowski? I don't know.
And that's the thing. So Wake is off a nice big win. They crushed Pitt.
Yep.
In the game before that, they played a ridiculous dogfight versus Virginia, 49-47. And then we just saw Virginia. Virginia just went on the road and lost 75-41. So, I mean, how good is that, 41 points? So, Duke's a little different. Duke, you got a couple NBA guys here who could come here and create shots and put the ball in the basket. They're going to score in the 70s. Will Wake be able to make the stops here? I don't know. Again, if this was Duke -1, it's a no-brainer like the Baylor game. I'm just taking Wake and running away with it. So be it. I'll wake up on Sunday, winner, loser, whatever. This line, no, I don't like it. This as an opener here. I don't like it. I know it's easy to just bet Wake Forest, and I probably should. In this spot, but something tells me and again, the public will be on Duke. I think, regardless of the trend. People have trouble swallowing I can't go against Duke.
They just beat Wake Forest at home by 8.
Yeah.
That was on February 12th, so less than 2 weeks ago. But when you think about Duke, really, I mean, they went into Miami last game and they beat them by 29 beat the Hurricanes by 29 in Miami.
Yeah. Miami's got problems, though. I mean, I think they had guys at that game too. They didn't play. It's like,
yep. On last 5 games on the road, Duke is 4-1. They have covered their last 5 games too. Man, I don't know. Any thoughts on the total?
I'd say over. I think this is an over game because I think Duke's going to make them work. They're going to get up and score, and Wake's going to have to score points here.
Yep, 77-69 was the score last game. So that one went under. That was in at Duke. No play for Sean on Duke.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me because I want to take Wake, but something tells me Duke is the side, and I hate saying that because it's like such a public side. But
yep, Roach and Filipowski, man, too really good.
My instincts are saying that they're trying to get you to take Wake, and you got to go the other way here, which is odd because it's Duke. Like, hi, let's not bet against Duke today. Like, who says that?
Yeah, as far as size, I mean, hell, let's say Duke. Wake Forest is sitting at number 20 in the country, according to KenPom.
Yeah, no, they're ranked higher. KenPom's got them up there.
Yeah,
they're not a bad team.
Yep. All right, this is the game you were talking about. You're high on here, North Carolina, Virginia. You got another home dog here, coming off a game in which they got absolutely whacked.
Yes, and it's 2. What is this about?
Yep.
I mean, again, this is a game you just have to play on a team that scores 41 points and loses by 30 to a rival. And this might be a rivalry game, but Virginia Tech, believe me, Virginia is definitely a game.
Rivalry. Yep.
They're kind of serious.
Yep.
75-41. And that was off a 49-47 win. I mean, I mean, 2 of 12, 33% from the field. Oh my goodness. Talk about disgusting. Carolina's what? Carolina just crushed that Virginia Tech team too, 96-81. They just beat them.
Yeah. Yep.
But listen, Virginia all day here. They've been stewing since, what was that, Monday night? They haven't played since Monday, sitting around.
Yep, February 19th. Monday. Wait until Saturday. North Carolina played their last game on Saturday of last week, so they've been sitting around too. They whacked, put 96 on Virginia Tech. But on the road though, I mean, North Carolina, their game before that, they went to Syracuse and they lost 79-86. So on the road, let's see, they lost at home to Clemson too.
They played that 74-73 game versus Georgia Tech.
Yep.
And again, 75-68, 76-66, FSU and BC.
Yep. Not exactly
sizable wins, but
it's
not like you're. I mean, but we talk about being on a road. They, just winning is fine, but you won a close one, you lost a close one, and now you're getting a team that scored 40 points and you're laying 2. I got to think. I mean, again, there's no rhyme or reason to that. This is just something that I've done for 20-something years, where I just have to take it and move on. There's games like that, especially on Saturdays. You get a lot of them.
North Carolina's hit the under in 10 of their last 13. We know Virginia's an under team, 130 points, man, and it still seems low to me. But I mean, if Virginia's only going to put up 50 or on less than 60 points, I'm not sure I like North Carolina to get us there. What are you thinking on the total?
I think you got to look under. I mean, it's 130. You know what? I'm going to have to say under, believe it or not. 130, just because.
Yeah, Virginia
as much as I like
so much.
Again, I like Virginia here. I'm going to take Virginia. I'll take 2.5 because when
that's
you score 41, you score 41 and 49 points, you're having trouble scoring the ball.
Yep.
And I don't know if just because you have a bad game like that doesn't, as much as I think they're going to come out and the
throw
coach
that game out the window. Throw the game out.
And you want to come in and have a good game. Are they going to drop 80 here to get this to? I mean, like, are they going to score? Is this game 75-70, which I think probably could get into that range? I mean, you get 70-64, which could be an easy. Even if I lose to North Carolina, I mean, this game should go over this total.
68-64 gets you there.
Yes,
over.
Yeah. So it's kind of low, but justified because you scored 41 and 45 or 49 your last two games.
Yep.
But I would lean over, and again, I'm going to take Virginia in the points here.
North Carolina, they're decent defensively too. They're a lot better than they have been in the past. I mean, last couple of years they've been more of an offensive team, and they played fast. This year they've slowed it down a little bit and focused a little bit more on defense. But yeah, Tony Bennett, the Virginia coach, he's he's going to be working his guys hard. Not letting them forget that they got whacked at Virginia Tech.
Come on, 41 points. That's like losing in the NFL, like 49-10 or something. Like, it's just a ridiculous score. 40 points.
I'm not even sure where Ken Palm has Virginia ranked. Shit.
They're probably middle of the road. They're probably in the 150s, if anywhere. I don't think. I don't. They can't be ranked higher,
Virginia Tech is ranked 50. Where's Virginia? They're 65th ranked.
Are they that high?
Ken Palm has Virginia ranked 65th.
That's really, I mean,
one spot behind McNeese State.
I like Ken Palm a lot.
Yeah. I think he's off on here.
The strength of schedule sometimes kind of skews teams a little bit in my estimation. Like, I don't think this is the top 100. I mean, you're telling me this is a tournament team. Right?
Yeah, adjusted strength. I said they played an 84th, 84th strongest schedule.
You said they're ranked 67th, so basically they're
65.
So they're a tournament team. You're telling me this is a tournament? They're not a tournament team.
They're the Cavaliers.
I don't think. I mean, they're going to make it because they're going to win 23 games in the ACC, so they'll make it. But I don't think they are. I mean, you score 40 points in a game. Multiple games. I don't think you should be.
Yeah, North Carolina and Virginia are both 20 game teams. Virginia's third place in the Atlantic Coast right now.
Are they really that high?
Yeah.
All right.
I
did not know that. Listen, I do my stuff. I'm just looking at what the spread is and going from there. I'm not.
Yeah. You take Virginia plus 2.5.
Yeah.
I have no play on the total. I lean over, but I'm not taking a Virginia over team after they scored in the 40s the last two games.
Ron, I think the Bears should trade down. Trade the pick. Get as many picks as you can. Keep Fields and get more players. You need depth. You need depth.
Bears fans are in a tortured state right now, Sean, with this whole thing. It's crazy.
It's a tough but you kept the coach, so you know what?
You kept the coach. If you were going to draft Caleb Woods, you had to get rid of Eberflus. But the young GM, that was his first coaching hire, didn't want to get rid of him. And to be honest, we don't know how long the contract was that Eberflus signed because it was never disclosed. He could have signed a 5-year deal. The Bears whack him after 2. They're paying him for 3 years or whatever the buyout is. It's right, whatever. They're probably paying him for 3 more years. They just don't do that. The Bears aren't an organization that pay coaches to not coach. But, Alabama, Kentucky, man, that's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Sean, the total's 176. Is that too high? I don't know, man.
I like the under here.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
the Kentucky's played a little defense the last couple games, and the other day I had Alabama over. I did one of my shows, and I was like, I go over this. It was Alabama, I guess Florida. Never in doubt. 85-85. Got to go to overtime. I mean, two teams 85. I didn't even get the over yet. I needed overtime to get it.
Yeah.
Now I have a Kentucky team. They're off again, last second loss. If it's a last second win, we're looking at this game a little different. You beat Auburn on the road. Great defensive games there. Even against LSU, you gave up 70 something. Playing some defense. Last time at home, we saw what? Lose at Gonzaga. The Gonzaga got him for an 80 spot. I think this is an under. I mean, 176. Do the math on this. I mean, you need 90 points.
Yep, you need 90 points out of somebody.
That's a lot.
Yep.
I mean, think about 88-84 doesn't get you there.
Nope. No, I'm with you on the under. I mean, for a total this high, there's got to be, the possessions and pace of play have got to be there for a total this high. Now both teams play at breakneck speed. They're both super fast. But I mean, you also have to be making shots. If you go like 2 to 5 minutes without much scoring, there goes the over. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on the under.
And listen, Alabama's a team.
Droughts.
They shoot their free throws well. All their guys are like 80% free throw shooters. They could, which is good. If no clock, you want points being put on the board.
Yep,
easy points. And 98-93, 100 points, 100-92.
Yep.
They lost 99-81, 99 they put up, 85 they put up. Again, those games aren't going over putting up 95 because you're only giving up 70. 109. I mean, 91 at Tennessee they gave up, so they could definitely give up points. And you saw Kentucky kind of got into it. Gonzaga 89-85.
Same with Kentucky, Tennessee.
Tennessee,
195
Florida,
points.
Like you had 3 games there. 94-91, 103-92, 109-77. A lot of points, but why do I feel this game's going to come into like an 86-80 kind of range?
Yeah. I'm with you. I
like the under in this
166. I do too. The under would be the play for me. Any thoughts on the side? Kentucky laying 1.5.
I like Kentucky. Already bet them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they're playing a lot better, but man, see what worries me is that they are so young.
But this is where you get they're young, but now it's the end of February, heading into March.
Yep.
You had a bad again. Here's a road spot. Beat Auburn, Bam on deck, and you come into LSU and you lose late on stupidness. So I could accept that because teams lose on the road. I've saying this all show. We talk about college basketball. Look at the records of teams on the road. Not a shocker. It is what I said in the Midday Money Show. LSU, the line, it was like a 3, it went up to 7. I'm like, oh boy. I said, I can't even take LSU now. Now I'm worried about taking it at a 4, 4.5. And they even need the points. They won outright. But teams lose on the road. It happens. Look at, as great as Alabama is, 19-7. Go look at their road. They're 4-3 on the road. Go see their who they played. Alabama's a really good team.
Yeah.
Very good team.
Yeah, if they're hitting from 3, they're dangerous.
This is a really good team. That's why I said, like, them. Some are going to run out of the SEC to get to the Final Four.
Ken Palm's got Alabama at 6. That's a little high for me. But
I think that's low. I think they're really good.
Kentucky, he's got Kentucky at 23.
What did you have? Did you say 23?
Yep, for Kentucky. AP has Alabama at 13. Kentucky at 17. Look, Kentucky 18-8. Kentucky at home, they are 12-4 straight up. Against the spread, 15-11. Alabama on the road, 15-10.
Alabama's good.
4-3. 4-3 on the road, like you said. Yeah,
you lost at Auburn. You lost to Tennessee. No harm there. Neutral game. Look at their preseason. The non-conference schedule. Neutral Ohio State looks like a bad loss now. But against the neutral, it is what it is. You beat Oregon on the neutral. Lost to Clemson. not bad. Clemson's not terrible. I
Mhm.
don't mind the loss there. Lost to Purdue on a neutral, not bad. Lost at Creighton by 3 after playing Purdue, and then you lost on Arizona to a neutral. I mean, those 3 games alone, Arizona, Creighton, Purdue, are 3 teams.
Yeah.
2 teams were in the top 5 half the year. Arizona and Purdue.
Yep.
I mean,
And Creighton, no slouch either.
That's no slouch.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've
come on.
lost to some good teams. Yep.
But they did lose to them, so don't be scared to say like, well, they're putting it well and they're getting a point here. I got to take them. Take the home teams at home. It's not gonna, minus 120, whatever. If you don't lay 1.5, I get it.
Traditionally, Kentucky home court has been just really tough, man. Rupp Arena is notorious for being a tough place to play. Now they lost a heartbreaker at LSU. LSU got hot shooting. At Auburn, they went to Auburn and whacked them. Auburn is a tough place to play, the jungle.
It's about the defense.
They lost at home versus Gonzaga. See, this is a young team loses some games at home. They lost to Florida at home. They lost to Tennessee at home. That was when they had their little stretch there. But Alabama might be a 1 seed in the tournament.
Could be.
Like if we're talking 1 seed, UConn, no doubt.
I think UConn, no matter what happens in their tournament, whether they lose early, I think they should probably still be a 1 seed.
Yeah. Houston, a 1 seed?
It depends who comes out of there. I mean, Kansas or Houston, so one of those teams will be the 1 seed.
Purdue?
They should be. But again, I mean, say Michigan State gets hot, that knocks them off.
Yeah.
Which might be better for Purdue. They might be better off not coming in as a 1 seed.
Was it 2 years ago? Iowa ran through the Big Ten tournament and won it. Got hot. Connecticut, we know, number 1 seed.
I mean, Marquette could get hot. I mean, Creighton's a good team.
Creighton want to buy some team.
Get a little Creighton, Elite 8 future, Final 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a good team. But like most teams, like you mentioned, Alabama, you're hitting your threes. Any team could really go on a little run.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ken Palm's rankings. I'm trying to think, who would be, aside from Connecticut, who would be above Alabama, as a 1 seed. I'm not taking Tennessee because,
right now I think you have to probably put Purdue there as a 1 just on their whole body of work.
Yep, Connecticut, Purdue.
They had nice early wins over ranked team, or not ranked, but I think they beat Gonzaga in Arizona. They beat good teams.
And it's either going to be Houston, Alabama, Arizona, maybe, but Arizona's been scuffling a little bit.
They're I thought they turned it around with the last couple wins, but then last night. You can't lose at home.
They've got size, they've got scoring, they've got defense. They can't put it together.
You want to win a close game. I get it. You're laying double digits. I understand. It went from 11 to 13. You win by 7, 8. All right. Washington State's been gritty. They're ranked. They're playing good. I get that. You can't lose outright at home. You can't.
Nope. Yeah. So for me, I think it's Purdue, Connecticut, Alabama, and Houston. If I were to make the 1 seeds right now.
I can agree with those.
All right. So we're looking at the under in this one. I think that's a good play. If it hits overtime, we're dead. But 176.5 is a lot of points, man. All right. We give some free plays out and get you out of here, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. We got some free plays here. We are also Anthony's out sick tonight. He's had some health problems, man, with the COVID and stuff. He's looking at Baylor plus 2.5, which you agree with. And that's the play. I know it's a system play. I like the play too. I mean, Houston is their first year in the Big 12. Their offense is prone to sputtering, man. Baylor is a really talented team this year.
Baylor's, again, they lost at TCU, Iowa State, and Kansas. All the same kind of spreads. 1.5, 1.5, or 3.
Yep.
Why not take Baylor at home? I'll take it. If it loses, that's all right. We'll come back.
Yeah. Yep.
These aren't bet your life games here. We're just taking, and we said with these other games, Kentucky, Virginia's, Who else did not say? You're going to do Oklahoma State, I believe, right? You're going to bring up
For
Oklahoma
the
State?
dog of the day. Yep, Sean's free play. You got New Hampshire.
I do like New Hampshire.
I will be on this play for sure. I like New Hampshire. I think they're tough. A good play at home. My free play, Western Kentucky on the road versus Middle Tennessee State. Western Kentucky towards the end of the year, almost they're well coached. They start to pour it out at the end of the year. We got a short. I know it's a road favorite. I hate road favorites, but I mean Middle Tennessee State. It's not the same Mid Tennessee that we've seen the past 2 years ago when they were covered machines.
Yeah.
This year, Western Kentucky's been pretty good against the spread. I'll take some Western Kentucky today. And our dog of the day.
15-8. 15-8 against the spread.
Yeah, for Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yep. Dog of the day, Oklahoma State has been red hot lately. The worst team in the Big 12.
Yeah.
This is a rivalry. Man, one of the fiercest rivalry too, whether it's football, basketball. We'll take Oklahoma State at home. They just
and it's another game like this. You have a quote unquote ranked team in Oklahoma,
unranked dog,
18-8, giving a point to a team under 500.
Yep.
Come on.
And that team just came off of a win against BYU, one of the really good team, man, 15th in the country. Yeah, Oklahoma. Ken Palm has Oklahoma ranked a lot lower than the AP. He's got Oklahoma at 36. I'll take Oklahoma State in this one.
Yep.
All right, Sean. Let's get you out of here. Any last words before we get out of here?
Spring training baseball.
Oh yeah.
Let's bet it like wackos. No, I'm only kidding. Although I did grab Kansas City today. They're like plus 120. Ended up losing 5-4, I think, in 10 innings. Typical start to my last year I went 12-2 plus 225 in spring.
Do you bet college baseball?
No, I can't name one college. No.
Yeah,
I'll do MLB, but I like Kansas City. I like Detroit. So these are teams I'm going to try to get them at plus money in the spring because I think they're going to be good and they're young. They want to win games and kind of carry that kind of momentum over. So I look for them as dogs and try to make a little bit. We'll see how we do.
And one last question for you with bankroll. Do you stick to the 1% play, 2% play, anything like that?
For this in general?
Yeah, when you're betting, say you have like $1,000 bankroll, a 1% bet would be $10. Or
yeah, no, I mean
$100.
Yeah, my bankroll's a little. That's like an average. That's like my bet in like NFL season would be when I'm putting out a game one. 1,500, 3,000.
Right.
But for baseball stuff, where I do a lot of games, college basketball.
Yeah.
It's a lot smaller. Like college
Volume.
basketball, I have a winning record. I'm down a little bit, but I'm only betting like 150 a game because I'm not having a good season. I'm one day I'm 4-1, next day I'm 2-1. So you have to adjust it to you. And people don't get the 1%. You tell somebody they put $300 in some account and you tell them bet $1 a game. They'll be like, what are you talking about? I can't make it. Their brains aren't wired that way. They want to bet 25 because 50, they want to make money. And they think it's like TikTok and they're going to not lose. You're going to lose games. So one, don't compare your bankroll to anybody or how you bet. I'm not a big parlay guy. People are like, I don't do that. Yep. I understand the big paydays for it. Just if you want to try to make money, then do it the smart way. Because you're gonna need the discipline. That's what it's about. You have to be. I got a dozen games for college basketball tomorrow. I could have 2 on Sunday, or just be like, I look at it and nothing jumps out. You have to be able to move on. So, if you really want to do it, say I want to bet 5. You can't think, oh, if I would have bet more, I bet 10. I should have bet 50. I lost $40. I should be up this amount. You're losing. You're a loser. You're going to lose. That's your mentality. You can't have that. Just bet what you can. I hate saying like people aren't smart enough, but they just don't understand that side of it. They just want to bet.
One advice for me always: don't chase.
You can't.
At the end of the night, don't chase. I know you don't want to have a losing day and stuff, but
you're gonna. You'll have a losing day.
Yeah.
You'll have a losing week. My thing is this: if you go 1-7 in your bets, are you reloading your account? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to go 1-7, you got to reload because you're chasing or doubling up, or you just don't have the
Yeah.
money to do it. Here's a good example of lower your bets to half of whatever you're doing. Like
Yep.
I,
That's what
I
that's
could
what
I
I've been
could I
doing.
could weather a 3-30 run at 300 a game at minus at an average of say like if it's baseball, I'd say just probably like minus 115 because I have some dogs in there. I
Yep.
can handle a huge loss like that because have a bankroll and I've been betting a long time and I
Yep.
know how this works and I could say
Yep.
I'm not doing good today, so I'm not going to bet my usual $300. I'm going to bet $100 or maybe just 50 because I'm just not seeing the board. You have to be able to know for yourself that you're not doing well.
Yep.
Wheel it in, lower it. Who cares? Like you're not. This isn't school. It's not like you go in and be like, well, here's all my work today, and I bet these games all for $25. I bet these for $300 and these for 3,000. This is how it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. You could write them down. Keep track of yourself. I'm having a bad one. You're
Yep.
gonna have it. People
I
don't
try to
understand
limit
that.
my
They
plays
see
to
they
from
see that
3 to
all the good
5.
stuff, Tooch. Everybody sees like this ridiculous. I hit this 9 leg, or look at this, $4,000, $800. No, no. Get used to losing. The best barely win 60% of the time.
So another question for yeah, exactly. The
I'm
top.
happy. I tell people I do my show too. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm at 54, 55%. People are like, that's terrible. Well, that's
No,
terrible.
it's
Okay.
not.
That's
I would.
I'm so terrible that you stop in for an hour because you're on your lunch break doing whatever you do, your 9 to 5 job or your swing shift.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? Yeah, I'm so bad that I've do videos basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm doing videos live.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Take the 54 and be happy.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm at 53, 54, I think, this year so far.
That's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. And
Because you're not doing now 53 if you're doing baseball money lines at 190,
yeah, you're
you're in
losing.
trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I don't do, that's not how I mean, people might not know in chat. I'm not, I don't like doing a 140 money line. I'm like, oh my
No.
goodness, I don't lay 140.
No.
So for me, a 53% in baseball season, forget about it. I mean, I'd have Bentleys lined up outside my house, in my freaking garage, but that's hard to do. 52.
It is.
I bet a lot of games and I'm a whole lot of dogs. So I'm happy at that 47 to 50% range because everything is plus 125, 133,
baseball,
107.
you have to take dogs because long term you're going to end up ahead.
The best team is the Dodgers and the Braves. They're rated to win 103 and 104 games.
Yeah.
So that's still 60 losses, right? And that's a team that's going to be favored in basically every one of their games. And if they're not favored, they're going to be
they're playing head to head.
What, like a
if they're not favored.
I mean, that's a game they could very well lose.
Yeah.
So they're going to be favored, and it'll be juice, and they'll lose a game when they're minus a 360 somewhere. They're going to go down as favorites.
Who do you guys
Nano.
like for March
Is that
Madness?
Nanu? Is that
Nano?
Work from work? Nanu?
I appreciate his. Tuesday nights I do Bears State of Affairs. It's kind of like weekend update of Saturday Night Live. A lot of comedy. I make fun of the Bears fans and stuff.
That's easy to do.
Not hard. But I also like, I love my Bears, so I also put in my props and stuff. And for March Madness, man, UConn, it's like, yeah, it's unfavorable. They're so good, man.
Let's listen, though. I mean, I'm sure everybody could come in here and tell you UConn's really good. You want to take a future to go like a Final Four run or to win a East or West? Like, I think Creighton's a good team. I like Creighton.
I wish I had taken him before the season.
I would take some kind of a. Again, I don't know what these odds are going to be or where they're going to be. Like, I could see a Baylor going on a run, even like a Texas Tech or one of these squads, an Alabama, a Tennessee, a Kentucky, whatever the highest odds are. One of those guys coming out of a bracket. Like, you say, who do you like for March Madness? Obviously, UConn's a championship caliber team. Yep. I like North Carolina. Those are my two faves. I'm really high on Alabama. We'll see how they do. I was high on Arizona. They haven't been playing well. Yep. Maybe you get a better number down the road.
How about Sparty make the Sweet 16? Tom Izzo always
they're
struggling right now.
Yeah, they're always good for a run.
They're always good for a run in the tournament. Yeah.
I just, he said, "Who do you like?" So I'm thinking, does he want a championship? Who's making the
Or
Final
just,
Four?
yeah, a Sweet
Do we
16,
think
Elite
of?
Eight. I might take a chance on Marquette to make the Elite Eight.
I like that.
I don't know what the odds are, but
Maybe next week. Yeah, we'll look at that for next week's show.
Creighton Elite Eight Final Four. That's not a bad bet.
No, that is a talented team, man. They are loaded up.
Yeah, once that tournament table, the brackets come out, Sean and Anthony and I'll be talking about that for sure. We'll talk about some of those matchups.
I always do. I do a live show on brackets as they come out. I'm like live betting as it comes out because the lines are coming up.
I gotta tell the audience about your show with Jesse and Ross because I'm really liking the show. I try to pop in. I was not always available at lunch and stuff or whatever, but watch today and. It's really very entertaining.
So we're definitely
Ross
three different.
Great. Yeah,
we're three different kind of guys when it comes to betting. Like, Jesse will sometimes come in with like a
minus 180.
He'll go high like that.
Oh yeah,
but he's, his volume is a lot less. But he's and like people are like, oh, who cares about 10-year stock? Well, if you're going to be betting like 160s, 170s, 180s up there, you better show a profit.
Oh yeah,
and. Because 60% is great, 63% is really good. But, if you're laying those kind of numbers, you're really cutting those in half when you start losing. That's almost a 2-to-1. Like 180, you got to win, 1.8 games to get that back,
Yep.
So, or if it's 160 because he's laying 180, it might be, whatever it is. And then Ross is an old timer.
Old school.
He's a Mark Lawrence kind of guy, breaks out the database and, he breaks it down a little different than me. And me, I'm a bettor. I'm a guy who just bet as a kid. I throw out a lot of volume. And
that's what I wanted to ask you because tomorrow there's 150 games of college basketball. How do you break it down? And how many games? I mean, because for me, I try to narrow my card down to about 10 plays on Saturday. It ain't always possible because I like a ton of stuff. I sometimes get around 12 to 14. During the week, I'm only trying to give out 3 to 5 plays. 3 is my ideal number during the week.
Once you start doing that, though, then you get into, I left this one off the board. Like, I started out, basketball didn't start out good for me this year. Normally, November, December basketball is good. I'm usually crushing non-conference with the smaller schools and mid-major kind of. When I say smaller schools, I'm talking about your Atlantic Suns and those kind of things. Not like your mid-major, not Mountain West and like Big Sky, so it started out slow. So I'm like, I got to kind of rein my things in. Because I used to, on a Saturday, I might have 9, 15, 17, 25 games.
Yep. And
I'm not putting dimes on all these games. And out of the gate, last year. That money's gone. It's a new bankroll. Small, I'll be like 150. But you drop that on 20 games, now you have a 4, you go 4-16, you're down 2,500, 3,000 for a day. I don't want to be down that much. So it's, I start small and as I was kind of like having a up and down, I was 500. I'm like, well, look at this. I'm down like 2 dimes for the season. I'm like, this is terrible. I had a great January in the first 2 weeks of February.
Yeah.
Good. But I wasn't betting more. I was betting the same because I was down. I'm not going to start pressing. All right, I'm winning, but I'm going lighter because this is the way my season has been. And you kind of know after you bet for 30 years how things are going. And this last 7-8 days for me, 5-5-1, 1-3, 3-1, 2-1-1, 2-1, 1-2, 1-2-1, 2-2. So I'm just kind of I'm hoping to get a nice little run going again. I got 12 games for tomorrow. So I don't really, I'll pull back my bet size more than my bets because.
Okay. So we're doing a little volume and 1%.
Yeah, this less money because I wrote them down here. I have 58 losses from a half to like 3 points. Yeah. 58, 22 wins, 11 pushes. Now, just on that's 65% of those games are losses. That is ridiculous. Like, give me 50% and I'm up for the year. Yeah. Like, that comes to, you break that down even, and I should be up. I'm just not catching. So my numbers are there. I mean, I have 11 pushes and 50, 60, 70, 80. 91 games within a half and 3 points. Like, come on, man. I'm there.
That's just bad luck. Yeah.
That's just the way it goes
Yep.
sometimes, man.
Yep.
So that's the difference between a monster season
Yep.
and a year where you're down 1,500. Like I might be down 1,500, and that's it's not a lot of money, but by what I've been into it, I mean we're talking over $100,000 thrown into the kitty for that to come out with that.
Yep.
But that's the game. That's why people think like, oh, it's easy to do this. I think it's easy to grind out a game from November
Very
to
hard.
April of just basketball. This is just basketball.
Just college basketball. That's all I've been focusing on.
So that's just that. It's not counting my NFL season or college football, which I had winning seasons in.
Yep.
Good seasons in. I mean, I was 55, 56% those
Yep,
points.
me too. Big Super Bowl day for us.
You can't think it's a you got to separate the sports. You can't have one piggyback everything else. If you're not doing good in one, you can't play it. What do you're not forcing a hand in hockey like, oh, I got to get hockey going. Here's my hockey for the year. 32-22.
That's good.
Basketball, 24-17. Like
for NBA.
26-19. Not a lot of eye in there.
Yeah.
Good returns, but I'm not. And again, those are small bets. Those are 150. Those are 200 out there. I'm not betting a lot on that because I'm not concentrating on that. Especially NBA regular season. I want nothing to do with guys sitting out because their vagina's hurt or whatever the heck. They got to go get new purses. I don't know what the heck they're doing. They're sitting out for load management. And hockey, that's a situational spot I grab.
It's so tough. Yep.
So, for 10 months, I'm going to do, or however long it is, with that November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months of basketball. I might be up 1,000 or down 2,000.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work for nothing. That's a lot of work for nothing to show for it.
Last NHL, I had a 30-2 streak where I went 30-2.
Excellent.
In the NHL last year. And then since then, I've been horseshit. So I was garbage.
And I have to emphasize it. So these things are all like the sites I'm on are just all sides and totals. They're nothing in gaming for me. There's no halftime bets. It's not like, oh, I got a first period in hockey tonight, or I did some random parlay, or I'm grabbing, Tooch send me like, hey, here are my totals today. I'm going to put, put his little things into a little $25 parlay. That's all separate. But again, it's still where I'm at. I'm still having I
had last night 1-4 my card, but before that I was like 3-0, 2-1, 2-1. But tomorrow 150 games. I don't know how many I'll bet, but how many games will you be like giving out, betting, etc.?
Well, I have them all on the sites already. So I'll have a dozen or more on the
picks
site.
And picks and parlays. You can get those.
Yep, get them there. But so to break those down, this is what I do. Like I write down, I print out the rotation, and then I write down all the lines.
Yep.
And it's time to go to work. And it's as stupid, as simple as it sounds. This is something I've used forever, whether it's college football or college basketball. I go right to the top 25 matchups, and I'm circling.
Yep.
My Wake Forests, my Virginias, all these kind of low games.
Yep.
I'm just homies, right down the line. So there are auto plays, and there could be 3, there could be 9, whatever they are. And then I go to the off the board kind of stuff, all the extra games.
Yep.
And I'll start in like the Big Sky or wherever and look at. I try to find a underdog. I look at the home team lines. I'm looking for like 8 to like 12-point home faves to fade, right? Then I go, you need to buy Ken-Pom for $25.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
A lot of information, especially I'm not some syndicate cat with like a bunch of people. I'm by myself, I'm just a guy who bets.
I run my stuff. I have a spreadsheet.
Bartovik's another site. He gives good stuff for
sidelines.
I never use sidelines, but so I'll go there and I want to find 7.5 to 12-point dogs in smaller conferences.
Yep.
And that's more of like a January, February kind of play for me because you get into conference play. Sure. You need to play. So more like a February kind of thing. I jump high into those where I'm just taking, again, blindly just taking.
Starts out winning 12-0. That's what
blindly,
people don't, right?
and it is. It's a blind bet. Why do you like it? My numbers say to take it. It's just something I've used. Whatever
Yep.
your data, your file,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Like looking at this,
Yep.
I'm trying to see who kind of fits that for tomorrow because I was just starting to write down some of these games.
When there's
And again,
150 games, it's so hard. I can't enter every game in the spreadsheet.
oh yeah,
It's
well,
impossible.
so I print them and then I write down all the lines I go from.
You got to prune them on Saturdays. The other days, I could probably get through a 30 game day, get them into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, I start these games at 4:00 on a Friday.
Yep.
You know,
after you're done here, you're going to go back to your.
I came in at what, 5 to 8. I'm like, I just finished doing, like, you got the lines. I'm like, I got them all already. Like, I wrote them all down. After this, I'll go in. I want to look at the added games because I'm just looking at the lines off the top of my head. I think maybe New Orleans might fit the bill here against Southeast Louisiana. They're getting 11.
So we did. Iona made it a game, but we got the winner with Ryder. That was my top play today.
Ryder won.
75.
Right.
They won by 3. So you got the win. I
was getting 2, so I'm happy.
There's a game coming up in about 40 minutes. Nevada and San Jose State. San Jose State just a bad team. But Nevada laying 9.5 on the road.
They beat them by 30.
Yeah. I still like Nevada.
I can't get behind. I'm not taking 10-point road faves. I can't do it.
Neither can I. It's against
I just can't. And that's another thing, folks.
Yep.
Like leaving money on the table. I know people don't like to say, "Oh, I leave." It's okay. I don't mind because you'll remember every winner. That's fine. You don't remember your losers, and I can guarantee you from experience they're going to outnumber every winner you think you have. Because the next morning when I go, I'm trying to think who I give out. Like I'll do my little rundown of games, like on smaller schedules in the Midday Money Show. I'll go through everyone, like I sort of lean this way, this way, this way, this way. And then when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I had this one. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got 3 winners. Then next thing you know, you're like, oh, loser. And then, wow, there's like 9 losers there. So you might think you have a bunch of winners. More often than not, you're going to have the losers in that spot. Like, you can't say I wish after the fact because then you're going to do something stupid the next day. Like, I left that one out there. Oh, my goodness. I got to do that today. Stick with your gut. It's there for a reason. You like something, it sticks out to you. Just move with it. It's okay.
Yep. And you're going to go right to work after we get out of here.
I'm going to go hit the extra board.
Yep.
I mean, I shouldn't even say that because I already grabbed a couple extra games. I'll tell you who I got today or for tomorrow. I grabbed Howard. Believe it or not, they're -7.5.
The Bison.
Lemoyne -3.5. New Hampshire we got here. I got Stetson again. And I grabbed some Cashville.
Oh, yeah.
So
we're going to take a look at my Western Kentucky Hilltoppers -3.5 on the road at Mid-Tenney. My free play. 15 at what are they? 15-8 against the spread?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're well coached, and towards the end of the year they usually come on real strong. Yesterday I had one of my top plays. Yesterday was Northern Kentucky -2.5. They won by 2. I got hooked. Another team I like towards the end of the year is Texas Southern. Of course, -17.5. My Iowa State.
I can't. I mean, I know Mississippi Valley's bad. I just can't lay 13 points on the road.
Yep.
I don't care how bad a team is. That's just.
What about Iowa State at home -17.5? My Cyclones.
Iowa State. Who are they playing tomorrow?
West Virginia.
Oh boy. Hold on a second.
That's a lot of points for my Cyclones, but.
I mean, I had West Virginia the other day. Hold on, let me pull it up here.
Kind of like Iowa.
What day did I have West Virginia? Was it last?
9.5. I had, we lost that one, Sean.
I think I had Central Florida. I did have them against Baylor. That was 2 games ago. I had them in that spot. And I had them against BYU too.
Arkansas State -8.5. Can't do it.
On the road, they lose by 16. On the road, they lose by 30, basically, to Texas. Lose by 4 to Oklahoma State, who's a bad team. 13 point at Central Florida. 14 Oklahoma. But again, do we want to lay?
You know how hard it is to play at Hilton?
20. I mean, it's a 20 spot.
17.5, isn't it?
Yeah, 17 might as well be 20, though.
Might as well be 20. Yep. I think Iowa State whacks them, but
I mean, they should take care. I mean, you got Oklahoma coming up next. It's not like it's a big game there in your home.
Yep. Oh,
West
dude.
Virginia, they are off a win, but now they're back on the road.
Howard is playing Morgan State, who are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually, like, I'll look at these first glance and throw a bunch of them in my queue on action, and then I'll go back and run them through the spreadsheet on a day like Saturday, and I'm going to take into account a lot of stuff. Do they get to the free throw line? What's their free throw percentage?
See, here, when there's that many
offensive efficiency, home and road splits.
This is why people need to have like a kind of idea what they think the line should be.
Yep.
And that's not just because there's 150 college basketball games tomorrow. That's
whether
it's an NFL Sunday or a regular day. You should be able to have the lines in front of you and just. I mean, I print them out. I'm not going to Sharpie my computer screens.
Before the line is made, you make the line.
Yeah, you should have an idea what
you have an idea. Yep, exactly, and that's what I do. Like in my head,
right off the people are like, "Oh, would you like this game?" It didn't jump out at me. Why not? Well, it just didn't. So I'm not going to go dig into something. If I don't like it right off the bat, I'm not going to go and force something because honestly, Tooch, Indiana Penn State tomorrow, I got no real opinion on that game. But if I'm going to dig into it a little bit and find here and there, this or that, I might be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take I'll take Penn State home. It's 3, maybe it should be 5, or maybe it should be 2. I should be taking the extra. I got a little value here in Indiana. You do enough work, you'll find what you believe is an edge somewhere, right? You're going to come up with it. And I say what you believe is an edge because no matter if I think I got a good number and I'm taking it, we obviously don't win every game, right? Because someone else is on the other side winning that game. So you think you have an edge on something. You could find an edge on every single game, every side in total. Doesn't mean it's going to win. So I say have an idea what you like and go through and just cross games right off. Like, nope.
Did you circle Auburn, Georgia? It's a ranked team on the road going against an unranked team at home, +8. I had Georgia whacking Vanderbilt when Georgia went on the road the other day. Georgia has a couple really good players. One of them, Sharif Abdur-Rahim's kid. That dude's just a beast.
Why didn't he play for his dad?
I know. I thought about that today. His dad's the coach at what's the other school?
He was at one of the smaller schools. He was at Kennesaw.
A smaller school.
He was at Kennesaw, I thought.
He was. He's not at Kennesaw anymore.
No, he went somewhere else. He moved to another mid-major.
Yep.
I look at this line. For me, this is like Auburn to come out and
angry.
Yeah, you get embarrassed at home.
Yep.
You got to come out for a win. Now, Georgia's again 11-4 at home, but who have they really beaten? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight losses for them here in SEC play. Again, some of these are on the road. 4 of their last losses have been on the road. They did beat Vandy, but how good's Vandy? I think he's at Vandy. Is Sharif at? Is that at Vanderbilt? Oh no, it's Vince Carter's at Vandy, right?
No, it's Jerry Stackhouse.
Stackhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would lean Auburn there. I'm not looking to take Georgia.
Yeah, I would take Georgia plus the points, right?
No, I'm not taking Georgia. I'll take Auburn.
I'll take Auburn. Okay. Let's see. Sharif Abdur-Rahim. He's coaching as a coach. Where is he? There's another one that's it's a different Abdur-Rahim as the coach. That's why he's not playing for his father.
Oh, maybe that's his uncle.
I'm trying to find out coach. Gotta go back. Amir Abdur-Rahim. He's South Florida's coach. That's right.
South Florida. That's
the Bulls. Yeah, and I was like, they really have a good coach too. The Bulls this year. Yeah, South Florida. Yep. All right. Let's get out of here, Sean. We both got work to do. Appreciate everything, all the great advice.
I'm trying about how about maybe a little Pitt tomorrow, -3.5 against Virginia Tech.
I love Pitt. They're tough, man.
Pitt's a tough little bunch, man.
I know.
And we talk about teams being ranked. These guys still not right now. Listen, they got blown out by Wake Forest.
Ken Palm, where does he have Pittsburgh?
Virginia Tech 1-7 on the road. I'm going to take Pitt tomorrow, -3.5.
Yep.
I'm taking. You just scored 58 points. I'm taking you.
I'm not enamored with Virginia Tech. I know Ken Palm's got him 50th in the top 50.
What's Pitt at?
61. Right there.
That's crazy.
I know. I'll take Pitt at home as a home dog. They're tough, man.
Well, they're favored. They're not a home dog.
Oh, they're favored over Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they're not great. I mean, they're 10-5 at home. It's not like they can lose games here.
I think I might take some Florida Gulf Coast at home, -4.5. I don't know. Boise State -7.5 on the road at Wyoming.
That's an overplay there with Queens.
Yep.
That's an over. Take the over 152.
Yep.
Foster's in the house.
Yeah, Foster's here. I can't lay 12.5 with Bradley. Indiana State -15.5. Give me the dog. UNLV at home versus down. Colorado State, man. Give me UNLV at home as a home dog. +1/2. Charlotte at Tulsa -2.5. They want you to take Charlotte. Charlotte's just it's a really.
Oh, UNLV is definitely on the plate for tomorrow.
Yep.
Gotta take.
Hell yeah, UNLV is good, man.
Colorado State off a tough loss too.
Yep. I mean, what about Villanova +12 at Connecticut?
I like UConn. Why isn't that line 15? I mean, it's UConn or nothing. I'm not looking at UConn to play another tough game. No, thank you. I got UConn.
Yep. Let's see.
I'm jumping. I'm going to be taking Pitt and probably UNLV tomorrow too.
Hell yeah.
I'll write them down here. I got to look into these.
Yep. Can't lay 21 with St. Mary's.
No. See, those things, I don't even look at games like that. New Mexico laying 18, 19.
UCLA, USC. I like UCLA at -4.5. It's
UCLA is coming back.
5.5 now.
I want to take Northern Iowa tomorrow against Drake.
Aha. So Drake is right here in Des Moines. And, Cedar Falls is Northern. This is a big rivalry.
Yeah.
So,
Drake's been taking care of business in this series.
Oh yeah, sure. Drake was a couple years back, man. Drake was like cover machine.
They still are. I mean, they won
printing money.
They won last year or this year. They won last year. They won February last year. Again, 3 straight OT games though in the series. Yeah. They had some battles.
Yep.
But the Panthers have not been that good.
Give me Stony Brook at home. Mr. William and Mary. I hate 8.5.
The Seawolves?
Yeah. We got to get that under for Kentucky, Alabama. I might load it up.
William and Mary. The tribe.
Horrible.
Yeesh.
Cashville, -3. Gardner Webb. There we are. Let's get on it.
I got Cashville.
That's going to be on my card.
I got a 3.5. It's on a 3. Good for you. Yep. I got actually a 4.5 on one side, so that's a bad number.
How about East Carolina +1.5 on the road?
Who's that? Rice?
Yep. Rice is Houston, right?
Yep.
They're terrible.
I know. See, I take Rice in that spot. Like, why is it a 10-win team as a favorite?
Gotcha.
So.
All right. Let's see. Where's that Kentucky? Well, Iowa +9.5 at Illinois. So what worries me is that Illinois is so good at rebounding, and they're just going to out rebound my Hawkeyes. It's one of the second chance points.
It's 10.
Yeah, it's 10-point game. Is Illinois really 10 points better though? That's a lot of points.
What time? Just getting 2:00.
Yep.
What do I have this at? Where is it at? Yeah, they are 10 points better.
Yep.
Maybe what's 9.5, 9.
There's
And they're off a loss too. Penn State.
Yep.
It's funny,
Yeah,
as good as Illinois is.
Illinois lost to Penn State. Yep.
They lost to Penn State. They beat
Now they
Maryland
come
by
home.
5. They lost at Michigan State. They beat Iowa State pretty good. Lost to Northwestern. Beat Michigan. Again, teams on the road. Iowa 3-7. An off a win too. So this is a spot where they might be like, we gotta. I don't know. See, again, Oklahoma that game State wouldn't jump at me, so I wouldn't even dig into it. There's no reason, I'm not digging into it.
Oklahoma State on the money line. It's only -1.5. I'm on -105. I guess let's take it. -105 money line.
Who's that? Who'd you took?
Oklahoma State. I got to get New Hampshire loaded up in here. Damn, I might take Georgia Tech plus 8.5 at Miami.
Tech is bad. I mean, listen, Miami's a mess, but I mean, I looked at the Georgia Tech. Somebody brought them up the other day. I guess they're playing Clemson. Did they play Clemson last game? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're home dog. You want to take the points. And I was looking at how they played. I'm like, oh, boy, I can't even tell you to take Georgia Tech.
We'll take a look at Western Illinois -6.5 at home versus Southern Indiana.
Western Illinois.
Let's go with New Orleans, Southeast Louisiana over 147. The pace of play should be there.
Western Illinois should get there.
Give me Tarleton State -6 versus Cal Baptist.
See, now Tarleton's off a big win, off a great game.
Big win, I know. Pitt -3.5.
Yes. I'm pulling up this Western Illinois.
Georgetown taking money at DePaul. That line was 2.5. Now it's Georgetown -4.5. Texas, Kansas. I can't touch it. Texas, I'm so unpredictable. Richmond at home versus Davidson, but it's -5.5. I love Richmond.
Straight road game for Western Illinois, or excuse me, for Southern Indiana. I got to look at Western Illinois too.
Oh yeah, I just gave you that one. I like.
Well, you mentioned that's why I pulled it up. We'll see. Again, I haven't looked. I mean, I got a bunch of games, and I went to my small schools. Now I got to look at this middle of the road stuff here.
Lamar is tough at home, but why are they only -1? Corpus Christi is good. They play tough defense too. Vermont, man, that's a good team, man. Vermont is just so well coached.
Playing Bryant.
Yeah, but I don't like it. Western Kentucky up to -4 already. What about FSU +10 on the road at Clemson?
I don't hate it. I think they're better than their record.
Yeah, me too. They got very athletic. They got a ton of size too. Charlotte -2.5 at Tulsa. Like Charlotte, if they don't make the tournament, they got a good chance to win the NIT.
Yeah, I like Charlotte's team.
I do too. I'll take a look at that game tomorrow. But I always go over these.
I mean,
games
I might take Bryant. I mean, like they lost to them by 10 earlier this year.
Bryant plus the points, right?
Yeah, Vermont got them by 4. So they're since Bryant came into the big leagues, lost by 10, lost by 4, lost by 10. I'm going to throw out back at 2014. That's a totally different team.
Yep.
But the last 3 games have been, and Vermont's only favored by 2.5 of those games too. 2.5, 2.5, 4.5. Close numbers. Now all of a sudden you're laying an 8.
Yep.
What am I missing here?
That's it. I'm out of games. Can't touch Hawaii, Long Beach State end of the night.
Brian. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11, but I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So, all right.
All right, Shawnee.
Time to go to work.
Yep. Thanks again. Let me roll that stuff. Where's Sean's banner? There it is. All right.
There it is.
Thanks again. We'll talk to you later.
You got it, too. Take it easy.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.